Hello, hello, hello. We're finally back again. I know it's been a while, but there's a lot of stuff to discuss. I'm really excited for this. How's your day been so far, Brian?
Real good. We watched the 49er game, went right down to the wire. The Steeler Baltimore game went down to the wire. What's going on? Is any cricket going on?
There's no game at the moment, but there is one. There's a continuation tonight between India and New Zealand. But I did watch the game, 49ers versus Seahawks. I was kind of disappointed towards the end that last fumble was pretty costly, and then right after the fourth down, I think the pass to the end zone it was intercepted, like half intercepted, I guess, and that was the end of that. But other than that, it was definitely very interesting. Trying to improve my NFL knowledge day by day. I know I'm making progress. I can tell you that.
No, that's the thing. Well, you're the only guy that can talk NFL and cricket. I tell people like NFL games last like 3 or 4 hours, if people think that's long. Tell people how long a cricket game lasts.
Depends on the format, actually. So there's a format called Test that goes on for 5 days.
5 days.
5 days, yes. Yeah. And then there's one day internationals that's around like 6-7 hours. And then there's the more modern format called T20 or 2020. That's roughly 4 hours, sometimes a little shorter than that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So we got 5 days, 7 hours, or 4 hours. So it's the only sport that's longer than the NFL. So
pretty much.
Yeah. And then how you and I, it's the trivia. We'll talk about the gold standard HQ, but from Blood Brothers, it's TallyUp, and we shout out to Woo, Jason, and Jeb, because they're the only app that cares. All these other apps we talk about, they could care less what we're saying. TallyUp, they have like staff meetings and they take notes about what we're saying.
It was very lovely to hear that they had listened to the entire discussion, TallyUp Diaries, and it's great to be part of the Discord server. Like it's always such a fun environment, lots of fun, chirpy discussions, friendly banter, and of course the occasional challenges.
Yeah,
Plus, it was so fun to host a game of trivia last week.
Oh, that's it. And they allowed you to host a trivia game on there. I mean, that's how accommodating they are. But also to tell people about the bounties. We're trying to win Blasteroids 14-0.
Yeah, so that's very tough. 14-0 means you reach 9 points, and your winning points. The next one is a 5. And there's a 20% chance it's going to happen, and you also have to factor in the number of boosts you and your opponent use. So it's super, super difficult. I feel like the bounty should be more than $25, honestly.
Well, they're going to listen to this at their staff meeting, so they might increase it. And then Woo's would give the bounty. I almost lost 14-0.
Oh wow! Well, what was the end score in that game?
He ended up beating me like 12-2. But the 5 was there, and I didn't know about the bounty. I was embarrassed. I should have thrown it and got in the reverse bounty because yeah, I mean, but tell people it's the most maddening game because you got to get the first move right.
It's kind of like a rock paper scissors kind of thing. It's such a simple concept, but it's got everyone interested, and we're living proof, right? We play it pretty often, even though I took a kind of long break. I'm finally back into it. I played a few games last night. Had mixed results, but the best part was beating UCF a couple of times in 10-24s.
Yeah. Tell people this. You're busy at work, but UCF retired you. Tell people about this guy UCF.
Yeah. I lost a couple of consecutive 10-24s, and I was like, what, forget it. Let me just claim it, and I need to take a break. I need to recharge, come back stronger, and it seems to have worked so far.
Right. But tell people that don't know, it's an even game. But why is UCF better than us?
Well, I guess UCF has a very strong understanding of what possible opponent strategies might be, and they're always well prepared for. They both expect the worst and expect like very smart opponents too. So I think I myself, I've lost like $45 if I were to compare the head to head. Yeah.
No, well, that's the thing. That's why I stay at 32 cents. I'm scared to go up there because, see, I can laugh. When I lose 32 cents, I don't care. When I win 32 cents, I don't care. It must be just awful when you lose $10 in playing Blasteroids or the Caves or it's called Monkey Business. And what's the other one? They all have silly names.
Magnet Madness.
Magnet. That one is the one I'm best at. But there again, it's like, when do you go low? When do you go high? You know, the other thing we'll add about TallyUp is it's just it's free, and you can't lose money on TallyUp.
True. No deposits. None of that. And that's the beauty of this game. And you know what? On that note, I think
One more thing.
let's bring over.
Well, before you, it's the only way you can lose money is if you're M Town. You have like $110, and then you have
Yeah, from $110 all the way down to like $15. That was crazy. But if you keep taking unnecessary risks, you shouldn't expect that not to happen.
well, that's the thing. You have to know when to quit, when to walk away, when to run. You know, you just it's okay. Yeah. Well, who I think Chandler's around. Who are we adding here?
Now let's bring them all in. We have Chandler, we have Mike, and we have Jeremy. So first of all, how's everyone doing? Let's go around the room. Who wants to go first?
Don't all speak at once.
I've been doing fine. I was supposed to have a midterm tomorrow, but apparently that was against campus policies, so it's been moved to the 15th.
Wait, it's against campus policies to have a midterm?
To have a midterm early.
Okay.
Well, regardless, all the best with that.
Yeah.
Let's go to Mike next.
Doing well here. I'm not sure when was the last time I joined one of these. Was I in my new house?
I think you were like in Brooklyn. Now you're in Jersey.
Yeah, I moved to New Jersey, so I'm in a new home. So now I'm in my attic space. That's also my office. It's also the play space for my son. So it's a
Your multi-purpose room.
Yeah, exactly. But all good. Yeah, he's going through. When people ask how are you doing, it's mostly about how my son's doing, just because it kind of dictates every aspect of my life. But he's doing well, so I'm doing well.
Yeah, we haven't done this in a while, Mike. Your son's now about 11 and a half.
Exactly. Yeah, no, he's almost 16 months.
Okay. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And we'll get to it, but you're a trooper. You play display trivia while changing the diaper of your son with the sound down.
I've never played display with the sound up, and I could see her talking. I'm like, come on, give me the text. I can't read what she's saying.
Correct. And
we got multitasker extraordinaire.
We got to get Jeremy from Texas.
Sometimes we don't know which has a fuller diaper, Mike's son or display trivia.
Ooh, that was a good one.
Yeah. But I've been doing all right. Just I threw out my back trying to help carry some Christmas decorations in from the back storeroom, trying to help my grandparents. I'm not the strongest person. I've kind of gone over it. I have some disabilities, nothing major, but like cerebral palsy. And so I'm not like the strongest individual, but I was trying to, help out because it's not super, super heavy, but they were heavy boxes because it has, a bunch of stuff in it, and so I kind of janked it a little bit. And my fiance was here this weekend and she gave me a massage and that helped, but I've been kind of out of sorts for the last week. And so I was telling I was like, I'm not sure if I'm going to make it, but true to form,
finally here.
Yeah, I wasn't going to miss getting to do this because we haven't had one of these in a while.
Yeah, Abai was going to put you on the disabled list.
Yeah, well, exactly. You know what? I deserve it. It's about time. I should have a permanent spot there.
But in your defense, if those of you who haven't had a back issue, like a lower back, you don't realize how integral to every movement that you make that your back is until you injure it. Then you realize, oh my God.
Oh my gosh. It's so funny
really
because of
need your
everything
back.
that I have had. I've never had a back problem. and my grandma has a bad back, and she had back surgery like 15 years ago, and it made her back worse. And I've been saying, oh my gosh, I didn't realize how much you suffer with. Yeah, I knew it was bad, and I sympathize, but now I empathize.
Yeah,
it's game changer.
Yep, absolutely.
I think a good place to start is how's everyone's TallyUp journey been going, like in the recent few days? I know Chandler's kind of feeling like a fish out of water, but we'll get you interested. I promise you that.
Use my referral code, Chandler.
I might have downloaded the app a while back, so I don't know if I could still do a referral code. I think the app's just hanging on my phone.
Oh,
yeah. Sorry about that.
How about you and I chatted about this? Like, I'm such a wimp in terms of how much I'm willing to bet. I mean, I don't go more than like 8 cents. I'm still in accumulation mode. When I get above a certain amount, then I'll start increasing my bets. But I mostly play that when I feel the need to like succeed at something and beat somebody at something. And so I'll bet 2 cents, and if I lose, then I'll bet 4 cents, and if I lose, I bet 8 cents, and then like by usually one of those three I'll win, and so then I'm like, yeah, good, now I'm done.
The good old martingale system.
Exactly.
All of that just for 2 cents.
Exactly. So
you know what? I don't blame you for 2 cents, 4 cents, or 8 cents, because that's exactly what my approach was when I first started playing it, and I only ventured into 1632 when I crossed like around $15. So I was like, you know what, I'm just going to play it safe, just coast my way to the cash out threshold. And then I soon realized, okay, I'm actually better than I thought, and I could take more risks, and this is where I'm at now.
I feel like I'm going to get there. I'm getting pretty successful at a couple games, and I think I'll get there. But I'd read around $2, so I've got a little ways to go to practice.
What's your best game?
Yeah, that's what.
I actually feel like my best game is Blasteroids, but you guys were talking.
Yes.
You guys were talking about terms that I wasn't familiar with, like, and I forgot what they were earlier before we got let in. So I was going to ask you, like, what's 1024 and what's
Oh, the prize. So the 1024 is it's the highest tier. So if you play a 1024 game,
gotcha.
You and your opponent are putting 512 on the line.
Got it. Okay. And then there was something with 14-0 or something in Blasteroids.
Oh yeah, the bounty. That's on the Discord. Yeah, go ahead and tell them Abai. Abai might be frozen.
Oh yeah, it looks like it.
I guess does that mean I got to like to pick up the reins here?
Yeah, it's all you.
Okay. Yeah, hosting here from California. Yeah. So no, what it was is it's a bounty on the Discord server. If you can win a game 14-0, which is pretty much impossible, they'll pay you $25.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, and because you know that first move, and Jeremy knows that first move in Blasteroids is everything. Jeremy might be frozen. No, Jeremy's alive.
I think it's Abai.
Abai, exactly.
He just chatted. He's got a connection problem. So
yes,
yeah,
he'll be back.
So I was saying we need to. Abai, sorry, I was replying to Abai. So if you said something, I was answering Abai's message. So what did you say, Brian?
No, you faked me out. I knew Abai was frozen, and you were so still. I thought
sorry, I was replying to Abai's message. I apologize.
We were talking about Blasteroids, and the first move. How important is that first move?
Crucial. Oh, absolutely crucial. I noticed that I have the most trouble coming back from that first move in Blasteroids than any other game.
Right.
And my least favorite game is Caverns, but I can come back from down 7-0, 8-0 much easier in Caverns than I can in any other game.
Oh,
well, usually because there's that one bucket that keeps filling up.
Caverns, no lead is safe. I mean, Caverns is the most difficult to finish, and with Blasteroids, the only way back from losing that first move is if you just go 0. But if you go like 2 and they get some stuff, forget it. I mean, it's just. What's your Blasteroids strategy, Abai?
Well, I try to get my coins first on the first turn because it's kind of the psychological advantage. But at the same time, if if the rocket's positioned at, let's say, opponent's 5, I obviously want to displace that. And even if the opponent gets like 1 or 2 on the first turn, then I don't really complain. I guess when I can, I want to be a little more conservative with my boosts. But if I see a chance to win the game, I try and finish it off, either by inviting the mistake, or if the opponent's not really suspecting it, then I just go for it.
Right. So then on that first play, you either would go 0 or move up 1, depending, to try to get coins that are yours, or try to get away from a bigger one of theirs.
Right. I only double boost if I'm absolutely confident, or if I'm trying to prevent something from happening.
Right. Well, you sent me you beat UCF on a double boost that put you down. Tell people that it was all or nothing.
Yes, it was. I was up 7-0, and I had 2 boosts left. So I had 2 boosts left, and my winning 3 coins were 2 positions up, and UCF had 2 of theirs before mine. So I was like, you know what? It's my moment. I'm already up 7-0. Let me just finish it off. So I went with the 2, and I was hoping just don't pick a 1 or a 2. And they sat down, so it was 2 + 0. So I got that
nice.
one.
Yeah, very cool. And then maybe just for people tell Chandler, it takes a while. Like I was playing it for about a month. I told Abai. Abai told me it was stupid, and and it looks stupid. I mean, the names are Blasteroids and Magnet Madness, but it's challenging. And what's neat about it, Abai, is it's changes where the game's the same, but the strategy changes. So yeah.
Are all the games like game theory based?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So they're all based on the same concept of winning coins to get to 10. This guy named Jeb has designed them all, and yeah, they're all basically, they're different but the same. And what was the word you used? Game theory, or what was the word?
Yeah,
you
game
used?
theory.
Yes, and only there is luck involved. So like, and that's why we talk to the guys. That's what's neat. We have access to Jeb, to Wu, to Jason, the CEO, and in chess, if you're better than somebody, you're better than them, and you will always beat them. But in this one, there's I don't probably open that there's luck involved about maybe you do a big move and then you can't see what's coming up and more coins are coming. So there's strategy but luck, if you follow me on this. So but it is game.
And the boards are different every time too. That's another thing.
Right.
The board is different each time.
Absolutely.
For like Blasteroids.
With the Blasteroids, but even like in the monkeys where you can't see the question mark. You know, that's like Chandler, it might say like coming up are 2 coins, 3 coins. Do you try to get those 3 coins, but the next one with the question mark could be 1 coin, or it could be like 4, you know. So, and then the other one, we got to ask Jeb this on the caverns, why not the monkey, but the bat. So basically what a bat does, it comes every 3 times, and instead of having 3 choices, it
Deflects,
twice. And so that makes the games harder to close out. So with your background, Chandler, with thinking, and you know, if you know the name game theory, actually maybe I don't want you to play, because you would start beating everybody. That's Abai invited all these people that were smart. We only want stupid people to play.
I had a question about the bat. Typically, the bat tilts in a direction, and the coins will go that direction. Does the bat ever switch? I felt like that happened to me once. Like
yes,
it does. Okay, that I assumed that the bat was going to deflect the coins left, and they went right because maybe the bat switched.
Yeah.
And
So if the bat is tilting this way, the coins will go will go like that. Will go like that. Yeah.
But I thought that the bat switched like in mid-turn. But does that ever happen?
No.
So I must have misread the bat then.
Yeah. No, that's it. The bat faked you out, because that's key. You have to know which way they're bouncing. Yeah. And then Jeremy's got him much better. Early on, Jeremy sometimes went under the bat. And so that, but no more. Now, Jeremy, you went from like having nothing to winning like $20, losing that, and then coming here we go.
So I've actually got a quick Blasteroids crash course. I think it'll be helpful for Chandler. So
yeah, this will be part of the TallyUp meeting tomorrow. They're in their annual whatever. They have Monday morning meetings.
I just tried to get into a game and it's not working for some reason. So,
all right,
and I see at the bottom right of my screen, I have a replay for display, but the main focus is tally up here.
Yeah, Chandler, pay attention. This is like a college level class.
Yeah.
Maybe ask Chandler what he would do.
Okay, so over here you have three choices. You can either go, hold on. So you can either pick no boost, one boost, or two boosts, and that'll move the rocket up that much. So what would you do here?
And you're on the left. You're on the left. The opponent's on the right.
You're on the left. Opponent's on the right.
Could you tell me what you mean by left and right? Sorry.
Okay, the points on the left-hand side, those are your points. So you're trying to move towards your points. And the blue ones are your opponent's points. You don't want the rocket to move up there.
Yeah. So give them a point but right now, if you do 0 and they do 0, they'll get 4. And then say if you do 1 and they do 1, they'll get 4. And then show them the boosts where right now you have 4 boosts.
4 boosts. Opponent has 4. Yeah.
And so each time you use a boost, you lose a boost, and you can use 2 at a time. And the only way to get more boosts is to go 0, and that'll give you 1 more.
One boost back.
Actually, I'm telling you, it's actually quite complicated. I mean, but the key thing, you see, Chandler, the pink and the blue, that's the key. So actually, let it play out once and see what happens, and then ask Chandler what he would do.
I'll play my first turn. That would make more sense. So
yeah.
Okay, so I picked 1 boost, and then I was waiting for the opponent to lock in their choice, and they chose to sit. They picked 0 boost. So 1 plus 0 is going to move up 1 position.
So now Abai would have 2. Well, then each time it goes up to the next one. Okay, here.
Okay, what would you do here? I'm up 2-0.
And 10 is the goal.
10 is the goal.
I'm honestly still not getting this game. And
okay, so you have 3 boosts now. What would you do?
I mean, he doesn't get it. What you're trying to do, it's a combination. Maybe this is good for tally up. This game is difficult to understand.
Oh! You get up to 2, and they can do up to 2, and then
yes,
you combine
they combine them, and so that's it. So you have to think, what does mine do combined with theirs? So like, obviously, if you go up 1, you're hoping they're going to go 0. But if they go 2, then it'll go up 3 and end up on the 2 for them. See?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
At an introductory level, I'd go 1.
You go 1? Okay.
Yeah.
Just because, I'd want to pass that 4 for sure.
Yes.
Okay.
But I don't know, how far the metagame is that, he knows he's going to do 1, so I'm going to do 2 to get the 2.
That's the
You
game.
don't. That's it. You have to outthink the person.
Well, let's see what happens here. Okay. So I went with 1, and the opponent decided to stay on the 4 in the hopes that they'd get it, but I managed to displace it and get some more points. So I'm 5-0 now.
Yep. And then, so what he has to worry about now is he's running out of those boosts. So when you run out of boosts, the other person can control the game, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So what would you do here?
Is that 1 the end, or is there more that scroll past that 1?
That's all you get to see for now. There's more.
There's more? Okay.
Yeah.
So, Abai, you have 2, and
2.
They have 5.
And the opponent has all 5. Yeah.
All 5, right.
So probably here I'd probably recharge here.
So 0?
Yeah.
Okay. So I did press 0 here, and the opponent pressed 1. I'm up 5-2, but I'm not too worried because 5-2 is still a decent lead. But next comes the interesting part.
That's what I was going to say. The next move is the key to the game here.
Yep. So this is the big one right here. What would you do?
It just comes down to, do I think my opponent's doing 1 or 2, and I don't know.
Or the opponent could do 0. Yeah. No,
What would you lean towards?
I'd lean towards 1, but
A 1? Okay. Well, we can see what I did now.
I feel like I might go 0 here.
And look at that.
nice.
Yeah, so I kind of intuitively had a feeling that if I move up 1, they'll want to displace it because 4 is greater than 3. So they want to keep me as far away from the big points as possible. But this was a pivotal move. So I decided, you know what, let me just stay where I am, and they can try to displace me, and it worked.
Right.
So you win no matter what then, because if you just hit 0.
And this is what's key, where now he has not only more gold, but you have more boosts.
Yeah, you just.
What would you do here?
I don't see why I don't just keep. Oh wait, no, never mind.
Match point.
How many does the other guy have?
3 boosts.
2.
I have 4.
3?
Yeah,
That's
they
not
have
it.
3.
Yeah.
Kanta Yoris. I'd probably go 1, but I could see how that could end really badly.
A 1?
Yeah.
Well, at least you're keeping the 5 out of play, because the
Yeah.
only way the 5 is going to be accessible is if both you go 2 and the opponent goes 2.
Yeah, but then I'm gonna have to deal with that next round if he goes 2.
Wow. Sorry, I know this is sort of off topic,
Yeah.
but I just got, when I got that unknown error a second ago on TallyUp,
Yes.
the game decided to take my money, and it claims that I lost the match to Slicey. I got an unknown error.
You know what? You should put that in the Discord server. I know like that issue a lot of people have encountered when the new update came into effect.
I went ahead and put it in the Discord. I don't know, and I'm not like asking them to refund my money, but it is kind of sucky, like, because then I lost a 128, because what I did, I was just going to play a 256 just to try one, but I got the unknown error, so I went down to 128 because that's my usual zone, and I lost that match. So I'm like, well, I'm glad I didn't do 256. And then I went and looked, and I looked at my money, and I was down $1.92. So then I was like, well, it took my, it recorded a loss there too, and I'm like, oh, that's not good.
Actually, Jeremy, you don't have to do anything, because they're going to watch this tomorrow during the staff meeting, and then they'll contact you.
No, that's true. Fair enough.
Yeah. So that's good. Yeah. Well, meanwhile, it's still ongoing here.
It's almost done. I think it's pretty obvious what the next move should be.
Is it though?
I mean, it's 9-5, and the Rocket's sitting at a 5, so I think it's pretty obvious what he should do next.
You got to get away from the 5 there.
I first gut guess was 0 though. Just I don't know.
But they only have 1 boost left. They wouldn't want to waste it.
Oh, they only have 1 boost left.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, then then you go.
You go 1. Well, let me ask you this. I can't see it. You have 9, and what do they have? A buy?
5.
That's it. We'll see. This actually is game, because watch this channel.
Yeah.
If he goes 1, they can go 1, and that'll
But then he
put it
runs
on.
out.
Right,
Yes,
they'll use it up.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's what you can do. This is how you win. You get to a spot where it's over now. All you
It's
got to
over
do
now.
just,
On this turn or the next. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. This
So
is
if a result won't be produced on this one, the next turn will definitely produce a result.
Yeah.
yes.
I didn't see his boosts. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah, and that's why this is the best feeling, because the worst blasteroids is when it comes down to the last move and you don't know who's going to win.
This one was pretty straightforward because now no more boosts left for the opponent, and I have the 3. I don't have to worry about boosts, and there's the win.
Just to make it interesting, about you should have gone 2.
Oh, shut up!
Oh, when you're done with that, actually, I got something to ask you guys. On
So yeah, that was 12-7. That was 256. It was a little bit intense, but I had everything figured out after that crucial move to make it 9-2. But yeah, it's Brian. It's your turn. What did you want?
I was going to ask. I don't know. I might be the only person, depending on who I'm playing. If it's somebody that has annoyed me in the past, and we're playing the monkeys, and let's say I'm up like 9-3, and I have much more water than them, and even though I could win, I don't. I just go a little tiny bit. See, I know Abai likes to end things quickly, but I like to maybe give the guy a little agony. And then sometimes I've noticed the people are so upset they just quit. They stop playing. Not entirely, but yeah. How often, when I say quit, they don't quit the game. How often after you have somebody beaten, do they not finish it?
Anyone can take this.
Yeah, I see that. Where just your opponent has not responded, you win the game.
Right.
They basically just shut down.
Exactly.
And I've done the same thing when I've lost. I just swipe it up. I'm close this out.
Right. I know Michael's. Yeah, exactly. That's something Michael would do. No, I always stay to the end, and that's it. But people I can see, they can't believe I had like a great comeback. It's always in caves. You could be down like 9-1, and they can't finish you off, and you end up winning. Or so I don't know. It's but yeah, it's fun. And but no, we've given them now stuff for them to do at their virtual staff meeting tomorrow.
I always wait for the opponent to have a disconnect, so I don't ever disconnect from the game myself. I wait to see if that opponent that's so far ahead of me can have a disconnection.
Exactly. And I don't know if people are in Ubers or driving around on taxis, or that one lady claims she was playing on the airplane. You got to have a stable internet connection. I'm only playing for 32 cents. I can't imagine the people that are playing for $5 or $10 and they're walking around. Or you got to have solid internet. And because I do at least 3 or 4 times a day, I win because the person doesn't submit a move.
Exactly.
Yeah, or maybe they get busy. Yeah. No, and I get it.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Is it an instant loss if you don't submit anything?
Yes. You get time. It's like 15 seconds, I think.
But yeah. So, but that's
unless it's a matchup.
Yeah.
Where you can take as long as you need.
Right. Like Michael could get busy with his son, or for me, it was once I was watching the World Series and I forgot I was playing. And then I learned how people don't submit moves. Or I told Jason this, they do this on purpose. It's the only app that doesn't let you know what time it is or how much your battery is left. And I was playing.
Yeah, that has changed.
It was not strange. They do it on purpose. It's like being in Las Vegas. They don't want you. Las Vegas, there's no windows and there's no clocks because they don't want you to know how long you're in the casino. And Jason doesn't want you to know how long you're on the TallyUp. So once I was in an intense game with Ferg, and Ferg says, well, why didn't you submit a move? And I said, my phone died. And my phone never dies because that's the only app where I can't. Every other app I can see that my phone's about to die. So no, I don't know. But that's one thing I'm not critical of TallyUp, and they can talk about their staff meeting, but it's silly, And sometimes I want to know. We can get to it. It's like 4:55. It's right before display, and I'm like, do I have enough time? And I don't know. I have to close the app and come back because I don't know. I guess TallyUp wants me to start wearing a watch. I mean, because Michael's the only guy that would know that we used to have to walk around with watches, and people would come up to you and ask. People will come up to you and ask, what time is it? Because they didn't know what time it is. Yep. Now no one asks you what time it is because everyone has a phone in their pocket. Everyone knows what time it is, except when you're playing TallyUp.
Unless you have a watch on.
Exactly. So
that's true.
Maybe that's Jason Woo. Maybe you can get a watch company to be a sponsor, so we all can wear a watch. And
yeah. What are the 3 R's?
Yeah.
We actually have Chi Hung listening in right now. I just want to give a quick, shout out / update. But TallyUp CEO Jason's actually he's originally from Canada, and I wouldn't be surprised if it opens up in the near future. I know it's one of their plans to expand worldwide. I know it's going to happen. Not too far away from now, but stay tuned.
We got to get Chi Hung. He's just right across the border in Toronto. And Chi Hung, he's listening but can't join us. He's the guy that got us playing perfect picks.
That's right.
Thanks a lot.
This is kind of us returning the favor. This is what HQ Diaries is for, or the Diaries podcast is for.
All right. No. Chi Hung's a legend. I mean, we're making NFL picks. We're making NBA picks. Chi Hung is making picks in France. I'm not making this up. Chi Hung he plays the French league. He plays La Liga. That's Spain. He plays the Bundesliga in Germany. I mean, the guy. There's a second division in England. But in fairness, I think he's in first place in Spain somehow. And then he and I, we have to make. He has to make the NHL picks every day, and I have to make NBA picks. Michael, I don't know if you're on this app. But the only way to win is to win the season-long thing, and it's the goddamn NBA season. It doesn't end until April. So I mean, it's a grind. I mean, I'm exhausted.
I do the NFL one.
Yeah, see, at least that's just once a week. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I had 45 points this week, and I feel like I hit the freaking lottery. Right. And that's 30 points away from what you need to hit the jackpot. And I feel like I had 45, and I feel like that's freaking.
You're in 9th overall. That's pretty good.
Wow. 9th overall, seriously?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't even realize. I just was checking it since we're talking about it.
Their point system is screwed up in the NFL. I think they've lowered it to 70. But
oh my God, impossible. I am in 9th overall out of 300 people. Oh my God.
Right. No, but it's when you get in 30 and 40, and then Jeremy, what was it? The one guy could win if he had Kansas City win by 4 and they won by 3 or something. I mean, it was. I mean, it almost happened. I mean, it was because it's so impossible. And then we joke you weren't on, but I said, yeah, good luck, good job to in the NBA. Whoever had the Grizzlies in '73 the other night.
Yeah, this is unbelievable. I'm 9th overall, and I'm so far away from freaking anything important that. We're never going to be doing the perfect picks diaries because there's no point.
We would a perfect picks. It's like one guy who runs out of his apartment in London. If he's watching, we want to talk to you. I have some suggestions. And Jeremy, you nailed the Cowboys on Thursday night. 10.
Yeah, I should have made that my perfect pick. That would have
star. Yeah.
It wouldn't have been enough, but it would have helped.
Yes, that's good. Yeah. And so if they had perfect picks in cricket, you would clean up.
There's actually an app called Tenner, TENNER. That's kind of similar. Cricket is over there, and I've taken part in a few of the contests. I haven't gone too well, but actually there are a whole bunch of other sports there too. There's basketball, there's soccer. I think there's Formula 1 too. So if you play perfect picks in Tenner, you've got pretty much all the bases covered.
Right. Formula 1. I know nothing about Formula 1. I just thought of something. We'll let you take a charge in a second about Chandler. You're back in Maryland. Are you still flying under the radar there and can get into Big Brain?
They didn't kick me out. I I just took a peek right now, and I was able to join the free roll. So
Because maybe that's what you got to go to California periodically and come back. Because that's good for you. Yeah, tell people what big brain is, because you on the perfect some categories you know a lot. That I like you. What was one you figured no one would know anything about, so you studied and you won?
there's been several. My favorite so far is TV shows on Bravo,
Wow.
Nothing
Oh
about
my
that.
god.
and ended up like getting like 10,500 points or something.
Right. No, it's fun. Does anybody know who Senor Smoke is? That guy is too tough.
No.
I have no idea.
No.
Although I'm looking to beat him in a Lord of the Rings trivia if it comes back.
That's it. The Michael says, I remember you telling me you were scared, and then you did it in practice, and you said I would have won. So anytime there's Lord of the Rings, and that's really got to impress your wife when you tell her you won Lord of the Rings trivia. But
Yeah, not so
I'm
much.
joking. But it doesn't matter. That's what you know. I mean, that's the beautiful thing. It's I think Jeremy won a trivia on Oprah once. I mean, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I mean, for me, actually, I hope maybe Nick, who runs it, is listening. I played it more. I used to be able to do sports. There was one night that Chandler wanted to like give me $5 to play or something, so I would compete.
Dodgers.
Dodgers, and I would have done well. This was about 2 months ago, but it's gotten tougher. I used to be able to do sports, and then people got better at being smarter and better with Google, and now I'm down to the NBA, specifically NBA in the 1990s. So there's literally I play when it's not a free game. I play only about once a month because all the other categories. I learned a lesson because Michael and I, we won't say how old we are, but we know 1970s movies. So I was excited. They had a quiz on 1970s movies, and people Abai's age and Chandler's age and Jeremy's age just kicked my ass. And I was like,
That can't be right.
exactly. And so I learned a lesson. And
Brian, you were just a twinkle.
What's that mean?
You were just a twinkle in your father's eye.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I was very exactly. No, I might have lived. We won't say I might have been alive in the 70s. We won't just I wasn't. See, thank you.
It'll remain a mystery.
It will remain a mystery. But no, in all seriousness, I would play more. And I think Jeremy, you're like me. You sometimes just want to prove a point. Yes, I know about this category. And one time I gave you like a thing. You want to do like arcade games. I said you might know something, but that's a tough crew.
Yeah,
I got really close to cashing though. Really close.
Right.
It was a tough crew, and that's why I wanted to do it, just to see if I could. And I got super close to cashing against like the best of the best.
And where you every week we might have to pause in 15 minutes at 6:00. You play the week in review, and you're like a newspaper. He knows what's going on.
Oh yeah, that's coming up in 15 minutes.
Yeah, Jeremy loves that, and so who else? Chandler or Mike? Do you keep track of what's going on week to week?
It's tough.
Not really.
I mean, you're a student, and being a dad, like it's hard to keep track of anything other than what's currently at hand in my house.
Right.
So yeah, for big brain. Yeah. What's that again?
I was joking. I said they should ask current events. They should ask big brain questions about your son.
Yeah. No, I hope I would do well on that one.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, he probably is a big brain already because Mike is smart. I have a feeling his son is already smart.
Yep.
You know what? Don't get me started. I'm like the epitome of the proud dad who insists that his son is a genius. This kid is. Don't get me started. That's a bad topic.
I had a feeling your son was smart.
But Mike, when we do all these trivia, I mean, you know what? It's science. I mean, whatever we're doing, what's that? I mean, you're one category. You know it backwards and forwards.
Not backwards and forwards. I'm pretty good with kind of science and nature stuff. Not really technical chemistry. I think I would lean to probably Abai and Chandler for the more technical stuff. But it's kind of general science and nature. I mean, I've watched probably every nature special on Nat Geo, on Animal Planet. I grew up camping and fishing, and David Attenborough, Life on Earth. Yeah, exactly. Cosmos with Carl Sagan, and that stuff I'm pretty good with. And then there are certain movies and genres. Like if you ask me anything about The Simpsons seasons up through season 10, I could probably, I don't think I get a single question wrong. Lord of the Rings, like Blues Brothers, I love that movie. There are certain movies that I know well.
Right.
Uh, but and then there are topics like pop culture and current music and current events that I lag on. So
But that Blues Brothers one for the other night, we didn't know.
I wish I'd answered quicker. I'm sorry about that.
Well, you did know that one. I just picked B. I mean, I
No,
know that.
so I knew it. So here was my logic. I saw the question, and it takes about 2 seconds to process the question or so.
Tell people what the
And then-
question was.
So the question was in the original Blues Brothers movie, in which location did we hear music composed by Billy Joel? Elevator, hotel, or street? And so I immediately thought, okay, elevator. I can picture that scene. They're riding up after the chase, the SWAT team and everything. They're in the elevator to deliver the money for the orphanage, and I can hear that lounge version of "Girl from Ipanema" playing. So I was like, I know pretty sure it's not elevator. Girl from Ipanema.
Yes, okay.
So I can hear that.
Yes.
And then street, I thought, okay, they do the street scene outside of Ray's music where they do the Watusi and that whole thing. And there's also on the streets where they're playing with the big speaker, they're announcing their
At the Palace
performance.
Hotel Ballroom.
The Palace Hotel. But I don't remember any. So then I thought it kind of has to be hotel. But by the time I got there, it was like 8-9 seconds, and it was too late to help people. So I apologize for that. If I was quicker, but I did logic it out.
Then there's the Brian approach where it's if it's Q12 and you have absolutely no clue, pick B.
Yeah.
It's the,
I think Chandler
which was
has
a lot less
subscribed to
effort.
that.
And sorry, my audio cut out.
Well, I was saying we're talking about the when in doubt go B. I think you're not totally on board with that, but yeah, no, okay, you're not. Okay, but my point with that is it's B more than it's not, and then when I go B, when I don't know and it's not something and it's something else, I don't get upset, because it's always consistent, and but it's luck, the whole thing is luck. Chandler, what's your best category?
In general, I don't know.
The Price is Right.
Yes, well, I'd say game shows, but I've lost several game shows on Big Brain before.
All right.
So
I got you. Well, let's send it back to Abai here. Take charge of this, Abai.
Actually, I have a question for everyone here. What do you regret more? Do you regret choosing not to go for it and missing out on what you could have won, or do you regret putting it on the line and losing out when it comes to these games?
Okay, give me an example where we put it on the line.
It could be like a big risk on TallyUp, or it could be like a slightly riskier game on Big Brain, for instance, or maybe VIP.
Yeah, okay, all right, yeah, all right. I'll think about that. Somebody else go first.
Oh, we just got a comment. That sounds like a Vulpo question.
Okay. No, but that's
that came at the right time.
Yeah.
Perfect.
No, I won't.
Too funny.
No, I won't give a buy. You're making money now on Bullpool, though.
Yeah, I placed 5th on the leaderboard today, so I think that's my personal best.
Right, and you've cashed out.
Someone
cashed out
remind me to
once,
check
yes.
the polls on Sunday mornings so I don't forget and slide right out of the cash line.
I'm actually preparing this spreadsheet that's got like the results from all the recent polls because the past answers could influence future questions that are asked.
Although they don't always.
No, but waking up and remembering to check the polls on Sunday morning, because I always forget to check it when I wake up, and then there's inevitably one or two that like come up,
and then they end quickly.
Yeah, I mean, I wake up in time. It's just that I don't check that app first thing.
Yeah.
No, but I still think Bullpool's a colossal waste of time, but not for Abai. I mean, Abai has figured out how to. I mean, I find it extremely stupid. What it is Jeremy and we know about, and maybe Mike about the Big Brain, the 200. That I could do. That's like surveys in America.
Yeah.
Bullpool is surveys from France that are done by 40-year-old French woman. So you have to think about how they're. I mean, I don't know. I guess a buy thinks like a middle-aged French woman or something like that. So I mean,
Yeah. I keep playing that game just out of pure stubbornness. All I get out of it is frustration, and I just
okay.
but I want to beat it.
Okay. Okay. So no, you're like me. Maybe we're just of our age. It's impossible, Michael. I mean,
I'm getting there. I'm so far off base with these people.
Yeah, right.
In terms of how they think. But
what you do, just give him a buy. He'll tell you what to do. And then we have our Sri Lankan friend. This guy's a legend. It's like 12 hours.
And he got first place.
That's what I'm
Can you
saying.
believe it?
Yeah,
That was unbelievable.
I didn't realize he was first last week.
right.
Yeah,
And
first place.
not only that, he sits there in Sri Lanka and makes picks in the NHL. There's no ice in Sri Lanka, and it's incredible. I mean, it's tomorrow. It's the morning, and no, he does know the soccer, but he's making picks in the NHL. Yeah, it's wild. But
He even makes NFL picks, which I don't know how many NFL games they show on like regular broadcast in Sri Lanka.
He does pretty well, I think, right?
Yeah, he's doing okay. No, I think the NFL might get there, but I guarantee they are not showing NHL ice hockey in Sri Lanka.
Not too much of it, I wouldn't imagine.
Yeah.
I would think that would be a no-go. But we got to get back on track here. What was the question about our toughest loss? Or go ahead.
Oh no. Are you? Do you tend to be more risk loving, or do you tend to be more risk averse? Like generally speaking.
I'll let somebody. I got some ideas. I'll let somebody else go first.
I'm more risk averse, at least for now. On say TallyUp, I'm still in accumulation mode, and then I don't know what else. Big Brain. I only play the games that I feel confident. I don't play the games that I think I might win because other people won't play it. I really only play the games that I feel confident. So yeah, I tend to not be too risky.
So on Big Brain, I tend to if it's a category I like, I'll play it. What tends to happen, there'll be a long stretch where there's no categories I like, and then they'll all come up on the same night. And then what happens, I'll lose the first one, and then maybe I'll lose the second one. But then one night recently, there were 3 quizzes in a row that were all things I enjoy. And I lost the first 2, and I was like, I should be done for the night. That should be it. And then the third thing came up, and it was Beatles. And I'm like, well, okay, since that's my, you see this back here.
Oh, so that's all Beatles. Okay.
And I ended up getting second, and it was $18 on a $5 entry, so it was a plus 13.
Nice.
And that basically got me like in the positive ledger for the night, despite losing the first 2 quizzes.
That's great.
So in that regard, I will take some risks despite losses if it's something I feel strongly in. But if it's TallyUp, I have learned my lesson about taking risks after blowing that initial $20 gain. And I stay in that $1.28 tier so I can avoid Brian, because he stays on that 32-cent tier, and he's too good of a player to run into for 32 cents.
No, at first I felt bad. I was beating you a lot. But
Yeah.
now the tables have turned, and if you look at it, you can compete with me, and most people can compete with me. It's tricky,
You're too good of a player for just 32 cents, though. If I beat you, I want to beat you for like $1.
Well, that's why I'm not going up there. I don't want you beating me for $1. So, that's not going to happen. You have to come. UCF came down and got me. I'd never seen UCF at the 32 level, and then he came down. We played 3 times. I beat him the first time, and then I lost him twice. And I could see that he is slightly better than me. So that's my experience with UCF.
It's not worth it.
That's not worth it. Exactly. You sent a buy into retirement. That's all you need to know.
The buy's over here playing $10.24. That's crazy talk.
Right. So
It's very occasional because, see, especially when it comes to TallyUp, if I make like X amount of money, like $7-8, and then I take one big risk and it goes okay, and I win that game, then I'm like, okay, this is a good stopping point. But let's see, I guess depending on the situation, things can kind of change. But I like to be more risk averse, generally speaking.
Bro, speaking of a risk, that's where it starts. It was
Yeah.
the VIP. So Chandler and I got in early.
Oh, yeah.
And in fact, I was beta testing it. And I actually won that night. Remember, we got $62. I got 62. Eugene got 62, and everyone else got like $3. Unfortunately, it was Eugene that they put like that's a big winner, and everybody went crazy. I don't know if
Yeah,
you
I
guys
remember
remember that night.
I do.
How
Yeah.
this guy gets $62, and I remember I was so happy. It was a question about Muggsy Bogues, and like I don't know,
Oh,
yeah, Jeremy would know
right.
Muggsy, and it said who did Muggsy Bogues not play for, and I knew
That's
that
right.
he started with the Washington Bullets, and I knew he played for the Warriors, and it was something. So that was one of the few times where I knew I got it right, and it was $62. And because it was beta, it was free. It was fantastic. And so this is ancient history. What was it? Was you could get them for like $60. You could get like 5 tickets. What was the?
That's what it used to be. Then they upped
Right.
it to
Yeah.
75 for
Yeah, that's
5.
it.
Yeah, they made it 75. Yeah.
Yes. No. So I early on I was buying those $60 tickets, and that was pressure. I remember sitting there at 6:00 at night, sitting down saying, "Why am I doing this?" Because if I got like question 6 wrong, then I would have to run the table. And then there was so much pressure on question 12, and it was always a question I didn't know. I just had to pick the middle answer, and it worked out somehow. But it was weird having the money come out of my credit card, go there, and then when it went to what did it go up to, Chandler? For
75.
75.
Mhm.
That's when because when you put in 60, you could total it up, and you could have to win like 2 or 3 games, and you might win like 120, 150. It was worth it. At 75, so I stopped doing it. I forget when. I didn't stop as quickly as Chandler. There were a few nights where you would sit there like going, son of a bitch. I just won $2.97 on the regular game, and the VIP people won $82. And so and then a buy was sitting there playing swag bucks for like 17 cents so he could like buy a gift card, and finally claim that he could like
I answered some surveys too, so to kind of get there quicker.
Yeah, exactly. No, but buy you had the money, but you had this big thing that you had to get the money from swag bucks to buy the VIP tickets, and then finally, a buy was in the VIP league, and he was like undefeated, and this is when the VIP would happen like once every 2 weeks or something like that, because it's you guys remember this, where only stupid people would play. I mean, the same people that are winning, but if you went in there and got your ass kicked, you would stop doing the VIP, and in fact, they don't even talk about it anymore. Do you think people have VIP tickets?
I believe some people have leftover VIP tickets.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like a remnant of the past. And the other risk averse is the big brain, where early on, I think Chandler, I got in May, and Mike, this was crazy. They had $25 games where you could win like $75, and they gave me like $50, and then as a bonus another $50, and anytime I got somebody to join, it was $20. So there were some times where I put in 25, like in the New York Yankees, and win 75. But then I did it once and lost, and I just was down in the dumps for like an hour. Like, how in the hell did I just lose $25? Why am I doing this? And then exactly. And then what happened is the games, the 50-50s, and you would put in like $5, and you could win like 4. And then again, I was sweating. You're like, why am I making myself miserable to win $4? So I'm very thankful that they give us free entry sometimes into the 200, and that free game. That's it, Chandler. You're darn smart. Those people are cleaning up on that free game. The 1 or 2 people that know that category are making like what Mike knows this, like Jeremy, like what, $460?
Oh yeah, $460 for the
That's
top
crazy.
prize. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, you got to beat every. What one could you clean up? Price is Right.
Not even like I'd get top 3 consistently, but I'd always just not know one thing, and that's
Right.
typically enough to lose. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my risk where it's fun, but it literally, as I said, I remember those VIP nights just being miserable, actually shaking on question 12. Why am I doing this? And so has everyone answered the question here? I forget.
I don't think we heard like from Chandler, but yeah. Oh, also, I want to give a quick shout out. Seriously impressive job to finish in first place on the HQ Words game on Tuesday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
that was awesome.
My best
I
was
was
second place. That happened once, but since then I've been playing like more carefully. I haven't really been paying much attention to the time. Even this last game, I was kind of hesitating a bit. Just wanted to get everything right.
I'm just glad HQ let Chandler play.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, typically I play more conservatively. Like, I know I went for leaderboard once, and I ended up not lifing in and just typing in Malala's last name, Yusufai. Uh,
Mhm.
and I know that sucked. So after that, I typically resolved just to play safe. But then the combination of me somehow getting banned, somehow, I was like, okay, I've got nothing to lose now. Like, if they kick me out, they kick me out. Uh, Along with the fact that, like, for the past 3 games, it's been, for some reason, it's been like that many strikes resets every puzzle, which is how it used to run. But I'm surprised that they reverted back to that. So you're essentially giving me 5 free strikes every puzzle. I just decided, you know what? Let's just do it, and it worked out.
Yeah, nicely done. That was an impressive win.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Usually the context clues end up either really helpful or sometimes really has you scratching your head.
Yeah, and you
Yeah.
know what? I was again. I tend to play these games with the sound off just because there's so much going on, and so I don't really ever get any clues. But Mariana hit it on the head the other day because I'm good with word puzzles. I'm good with crosswords, but these there are a lot. It's all current events and current pop culture references and twists on current things that are happening, and I'm never up to date on these things, and so I have no clue what they're getting at. It's like the Taylor Swift thing, the Swift repetition. I like
Yeah,
that may
Red
as
Taylor's
well
version.
that may as
Yeah.
well have been in another language for me. I had no clue what they were talking about. I
You
keep
know
playing
what?
though.
In other
I keep
news,
playing and then pounding my fists.
I just crashed out on round one.
Oh, so that's what it was. So tell me what's going on. Abai was playing poker while you were hosting while playing poker.
I saw
You know
I
what?
saw you say Cash
I'm
Live.
trying to give Mike some competition for being the master multitasker here.
Right. And Jeremy, are you doing current events right now?
I am, but I'm at least listening.
I'm watching the baby monitor.
At least Mike's doing something responsible.
Well, Brian, the alternative to me doing this is over talking. And which would you rather me do?
There you go. Okay.
Ooh, good point.
No, you're a good guy, Jeremy. No. That's what I tell. No, you mean well, and as I said, you're one of the smartest people I've met, and you've been dealt some health challenges, and you faced them all.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there you go.
Absolute legend. Yep.
And he knows about the San Antonio Spurs.
And they're going through a rough patch, but they're having a hot streak right now.
Well, they beat the Warriors.
They did. That was good. I actually got to watch that on TV. It was nice.
No, so
God's blessed me.
Yeah, tell people what Cash Live is about. That's a fascinating app.
Cash Live. Okay, so it's Texas Hold'em. In fact, before I started playing Cash Live, I really didn't have much knowledge, so I learned the game like as I was playing this. So it's totally free to play. There are games twice a day, all 7 days a week, 3 p.m. and then 6 p.m. Pacific time. Basically, you have 6 rounds, and the goal is to get the biggest chip stack you can, and you're given two flop cards, or 2 hole cards rather, and there are 3 flop cards revealed. And before the 4th and 5th cards are revealed, you get to decide if you want to fold or go all in.
Right.
And it's typically 3 folds if it's a 6-round day or 5 rounds. But on 7-round Sundays, which is sometimes a special event, you get 4 folds. long story short, it's plain dumb luck. You have to hope that the stars align. I've never made the final table. I never placed in the top five before. I've come close on a couple of occasions, but that's as good as I've gotten so far.
No, well, that's the thing. I mean, it's like a needle in a haystack. Like 1,400 people are playing, and 5 people can get to the final table. And then it is fun. The hosts are energetic. There's they tell jokes. There's that one lady that always has that revealing top. You're like, what's she gonna wear
I was
today?
wondering when we were going to finally mention that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, sometimes like I'm bored. I thought, I hope that Lady Natalie's hosting tonight, and then so I watch that. And then the other interesting thing about it is the cash out is $25, and so if you don't get to the final table, occasionally you'll win 25 cents. And I even wrote to them. I said, "This is not too helpful. I mean, it feels good to win 25 cents, but it's going to take me a couple years to get to $25." And
Did they get back to you?
they didn't quite blow me off, but they said, "Thanks for the input. We'll consider it."
That's like kind of the professional version to say, thanks for the feedback, but we don't really care.
Right. And that is, and that's why it all goes back to TallyUp, where they care, where they might be. TallyUp loves us so much, they might be watching this whole thing, the stuff that's not even about TallyUp, you know, and we're giving them information on other apps, you know, and so that's what was a breath of fresh air about TallyUp. And TallyUp pays you, you know, and not only that, we know the guy that handles the cash outs, and he'll send you an email. I'm cashing you out, because some of these apps don't want to cash you out or want to make it as difficult as humanly possible that you forget to cash out.
And there's no like intermediate follow-up. Like when you hit cash out on HQ, for instance, it'll only say, okay, then you can just go back to the home screen. But on the other hand, the moment you hit cash out on TallyUp, like in the next hour, you're going to get an email saying you cashed out this much. We'll process it, and we'll get back to you again when the money has been sent.
Right. So that's the thing. At least HQ, there was no. That was the thing. HQ would take forever, but it used to be when you did cash out, I could go downstairs and make a sandwich, and I would come back, and it would be in my PayPal, and that was fantastic. But sometimes it goes into, as Abai's shaking his head, it goes into the never world, where it's like you don't know where the money is, and that's the worst feeling. Where did they get my cash out? Did they lose it? And then I'm a member of the beta group, and somebody asked, why did you approve all these games and you didn't? Now it says it's broken. And they said, well, we have to transfer some money into that account and then it will work, you know? So it's just overly complicated, you know? But has everyone always gotten their money?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I haven't cashed out nearly as much HQ money as some of y'all, so.
Okay.
Yeah, I think cash outs are disabled right now. I don't even know when they're going to bring it back on.
Well, we do know when they decide to move some money into that account.
Yeah, and they have the one employee who's
we call it what was it? The comfortable employee.
the one comfortable employee. That's right.
Right.
I remember that announcement. But yeah, I don't see HQ having the 7 days a week games anymore, but I'm still enjoying it whenever I get the chance to play it. Like the HQ Words on Tuesday, I got pretty lucky. I ended up getting back home before 6:30.
Well, that's the thing for me. I think Mike agrees that it's still the gold standard. It's just so much fun to win an HQ game, and now that it's once a week, the pay is something like $14. I think I won like $48 about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I look forward to getting that sometime around St. Patrick's Day. And but I'm joking about that. But no, it's fun. It's once a week, and I don't know.
The pays have been bigger. Yeah.
Yeah, the pay has been.
Did you win the? There was a Halloween game that I won. I know, pretty sure Mariano won. But that was like $57. That was one of my bigger wins for sure.
Let me double check. That's the one nice thing they have. It's all organized here in HQ.
There's always something to appreciate. And then, of course, speaking of once a week game, there's one to win, which we're yet to talk about.
Right.
But yeah,
I missed the last game. I had domestic duties underway, so I saw all the chat, but I missed the game, unfortunately.
well, gotta do what you gotta do, right?
Yeah, I've played it though. I played a couple of them.
Well, we have okay. So why the hell was $400 taken out of my account and flagged?
Oh,
Well,
Ben's
I
feature.
think, yeah, see, I think this is a problem that's been happening to a lot of people. I I know I got banned for a little bit, but at the same time, I don't think money was taken out of my account. But this is I don't know. This is super weird. Wait, Chandler, when you got blocked, did HQ take any money away or?
I think Chandler's playing a game.
I know
Oh.
they've had
I'm not.
problems.
I'm just sending.
No, he
You go
asked you
first, Jeremy.
when you got banned. Did they take your money?
They didn't. It was just I couldn't cash out anything. Yeah, my balance didn't change.
But you couldn't play though, right?
I couldn't play HQ trivia because it kicked me out at around question 8, question 9. But somehow, whatever fraud detection they have in HQ trivia isn't in words. Hence how I was somehow able to play while banned.
Play and win.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, he's here. The legend has
Twins.
arrived.
Look at the jacket.
And it's twin day too.
It was there a memo? Were you supposed to dress like this? What's going on here?
When I saw what you were wearing, Brian, I couldn't help but grab the same outfit. I just wanted to join in.
Just for that.
Any week that anytime we do the diaries and you're not available, I grow out my beard. It's graying, so I can fill in for you.
You're almost, you could be my Canadian stunt double. It's incredible.
New action movie coming out.
I got the V-neck and everything, right?
Oh, I love it. That's amazing.
You made my night. I mean, this is incredible.
I mean, down to the sweatshirt underneath. It's fantastic.
This was a perfect timing for Arrival because we were just about to start to talk about one to win.
All right, I gotta go now. I'm kidding.
No, she hugs like George Costanza. He leaves on a high note. He comes in, he gets his zinger in. No, in all seriousness, I just have a soft spot in my heart for Chi Hung because he's the one that told me about a lot of these games, and we have good banter back and forth. And he follows sports. And as I joked earlier, I don't know if you heard this, Chi Hung. I mean, not just the NHL, not the NBA. You are kicking ass in Spain and France.
Yeah, the international soccer. Something I've kind of learned is that if you're in the top 10, because it's average score, just stop playing. Hope everyone drops or loses interest. So I've done that for La Liga, the Spanish league. So I'm hanging on to first place. I'm going to see how long I can ride that out.
Wow.
I think Italy and France, I was top 10. I'm sort of teetering. And in Germany too, I think I was up there. But it's certainly a grind, making all the picks every week for the soccer leagues. I know you're on top for NBA, Brian. I it's been kind of a brutal week, past 2 weeks.
Yes.
I'm in the contention for NHL.
Yes.
And so we're well represented. Ferg is in the top for NFL. Like he's number 1, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I've been meaning to get back to it.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah. No, but in all seriousness, that thing you still have to pick a few more weeks to do in Spain, and that's the tough one. You just have to pick. You just got to pick the right weeks, And about how many more weeks do you have to pick? About 4 or 5, or
I don't know if it's consistent. I looked up one of the leagues, and I think there were 38 weeks. So meaning I'd have to play 19 at least. I think I'm at 10 or 11 for Spanish league.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm a little bit over halfway. So it's as you say, it's whether picking the right weeks, but also making sure that if you do sort of not play every week, that you do catch up and you're not disqualified because you don't play the minimum. Right?
There you go. No, you're the and Perfect Picks is great. You've won before, and Perfect Picks doesn't like to pay you when you're like, shit, how do I get paid? You have to contact them. There's no, but they will pay you. But I mean, it's pretty funny that
Yeah.
they told you won, but they wouldn't tell you how to get paid until you contacted them. Correct?
As you say, I think it's a one man shop, or
Yes.
it's a small company. So it's just a matter of getting in touch with them, and they'll hook you up through your PayPal. When they first started out, the jackpots were incredible. They were $1,300. So it's to make games more accessible. They've increased the frequency of the jackpot games. I mean, it's decent at 500. Some of the leagues are more winnable than others. NFL, forget about that. But I think NHL definitely.
Would you check? Somebody's going to win the NHL. Let me check to see if there was like 6 people that had a shot today.
There's something to learn. Even in the contests where you like don't know much, it still doesn't hurt to try, and that's.
Yeah, I mean it's free to play, and there are. There's so many resources you can go with. You can go with Vegas odds. You can go with this site which has odds. I won't reveal it because I think it's really very helpful. But you can use any source you want. I used to, I do spreadsheets for NHL, NBA. With varying degrees of results. So you can spend as much or as little time as you want. You can just go with instinct, really. Because you're just choosing the margin of victory. You're not choosing the exact score or anything like that.
We should announce it here. That guy that got screwed over by HQ, he now has money. He just won this week in the NHL. Ben Sweetra, he and another guy both tied at 73.64. They tied. So he'll get $250. So that's big news. I mean,
they'll split it, yeah.
Yeah, and today they were lucky. They said Tampa Bay by 1 goal. Tampa Bay won 7-1. No, but that is tell people the perfect picks. Well, everyone here knows, but maybe the viewer, or maybe we can get the guy that runs it out of his apartment in London, Matt Allen. But it is you got not only get it correct, but close to the score. Explain that, Chi-Hung.
Right. So sort of the objective of the game is to get as close as possible to the margin of victory, right? Or in the case of draws, the sports that have draws, you predict that you have a single star you can apply to a given tournament that will double your score. Each tournament is out of 100. So let's say you have 10 games for a tournament, plus your star indicator, so it's divided by 11, so each game is worth 9 points. You use a star, you get perfect, you get 18 stars. So, it's called perfect picks because you want to get perfect picks. So usually the threshold is around 80 for a jackpot, depends on the sport. And the prize actually depends on the sport as well. So it ranges usually from $250 to $500.
Yeah, can people see that? I put up, this is the hockey from the day. Can people see that? Or maybe not.
Yeah, I'm kind of able to see it.
Yeah, it's not the best. But no, that's why you have a better shot at hockey, because other than when Tampa Bay wins 7-1, most games are 1 goal. Maybe there's empty net, it's 2 goals. That's why we joke that the NFL is impossible. And the NBA, actually, somebody won the NBA about 2 weeks ago. It just, things have to go kind of as planned. That's it. You can miss, depending on how, you have to be more perfect. You can maybe miss 1 game or no. It's pretty much.
Yeah. You can get 1 game. You can just miss it completely as long as the margin of victories are close in the other ones.
Right.
I was just multitasking. I came fourth in this other game that Spike, he came third in this game called Scavenger Hunt. Maybe we'll talk about it in a future Diaries, but it's basically a word puzzle game where you draw or take a photo of the answers. So we'll talk about it in a future episode.
Yeah. Oh, Chi-Hung, you're like Metal Mama. Who knows more about apps than Chi-Hung? I mean, you had a blog at one time that told people where to go to get free money. I mean, you're my blood brother. You're my Canadian blood brother.
It's, there are apps where you can win money just based on pure luck. There's another one I found. We'll talk about that in a future episode as well. And then you have ones that are more skill-based, I guess you can say, making predictions, or knowledge-based, like trivia. There's a wealth of apps now than, I think, more than ever before. You just, find the niche that you're good with, and then you can just go crazy with that. I know, actually, there are too many apps. I can't keep up with all of them, especially the sports prediction apps. There's what is that? The one that Indica plays. It's
Tenor.
Tenor. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just
Upside
started to
sports.
get into that. Yeah.
There's so many.
And also, you're busy. You have a job. You have your daughters. You have your wife. And as I said, I get my NBA picks in, and sometimes I'll change them. And you say, I can't. I'm cooking dinner or something like that.
Washing
You know,
dishes, yeah.
which is important. Or that's right, busting your chops doing dishes. You said, but you have to do that. But so one night you're spending time with your daughters. You
Yeah,
win.
Yeah, I couldn't join because it was earlier because it was sort of like the bedtime routine.
No, but that's time well spent. I mean, that's better than adjusting the NBA picks. Do I get what the guy Matt Allen? Why in the hell are the Houston Rockets on there all the time? They're like the worst team in the league. Get them out of there.
You know, I don't know how he chooses which teams in a given week or which.
Oh, so you don't pick every game every night? I've never done the NBA perfect.
No, they have typically 10 games throughout the week. Sometimes they're marquee matchups, and sometimes they're duds. I mean, Brian, what was it? Houston against Detroit.
Yes.
You watched that too.
Exactly. I watched that on NBA TV. Thanks a lot, Matt Allen. Because of that, I was watching one of the
Houston versus Detroit. Wow.
Yes, that shows my dedication to this app. I mean, it was insane, and I was like, "Why am I watching this?" And it's because of the perfect picks. And it literally was like on a Wednesday night on NBA TV.
Would you have paid League Pass for that if you?
Oh no, of course not. No. I'm cheaper than she hung. I just. I mean, I do have a cable package, thank God, so I can watch sports. I think Qigong's so cheap, you don't even pay for cable.
You know what? I just signed up for a sports package.
Good.
But I haven't had time to watch anything. So.
Yeah, but at least it's available. You know, as I said, you could watch the Raptors or something like that. But yeah, for me, as I said, it's fun, and as I said, but it is ridiculous that. So what it is, Jeremy, each contest runs over about 3 or 4 days. And so they'll pick like 2 or 3 or maybe 4 games a day. And it's random. You know, sometimes it is like the Lakers versus Celtics. But then sometimes you're like, son of a bitch, it's the Houston Rockets versus the Detroit Pistons. This is ridiculous, you know. And
I mean, I'll make one more point and then I got to run. But you know, I think earlier in the season or like just a few months ago, we noticed that people weren't winning at all. And then I'd say within the last month or two, they've won at least once every 2 weeks. It seems like they've been consistent winners, right? And I know, Brian, you make a joke about that. They're going to go bankrupt with all the money they're going on.
Well, that's the thing. It's this guy, Matt Allen, and he's doing a great job. We're just trying to figure out what he's doing. He's got the infrastructure, and he's got a few people playing, and it's not going to kill him that he has to pay out $500 every couple of weeks, but he's not taking in any money at all, and there's no way for there doesn't seem to be a way right now that I see for him to make money. So yeah, I don't know. I joke about it, but as I said, it's not the end of the world. But as I said, it's good for people to win. But it doesn't seem sustainable. Qihong, they just got to make it to April. I mean, we're busting our butt, you know. if they go belly up like in March, and we pick because we joke with Qihong, but it's at least with the NFL and the soccer, it's like. The NFL's it could be a Thursday and then Sunday, and the soccer, you know, with the NBA, it's every goddamn day. I mean, I can't wait for Christmas Eve so I can get a night off, you know. And
they have a promotion where I think if you can recruit 20 friends in 1 month, you'll get $50, and if you're the leader amongst all of the recruiters, you get. I don't know, a couple hundred. I don't even have 20 friends that I can recruit in like my lifetime. So that's not going to happen with me. But you know, they're making an attempt and they're paying out some people. So
gotten 3 people to play TallyUp since this summer. So yeah.
Right. Oh, go ahead. Speaking of, did you get anybody at $3 for Cash Live, Qihong?
No, I didn't.
I did 2 friends.
Nice.
I'm super stoked.
It's more money you'll win than what in a few months of playing. You know, getting
I got my
cash.
grandma, and that's because I had access to her phone.
Oh,
wait a minute.
Okay.
I hope they're not. So yeah, you did the signing up. Okay, I got you. That's what you got to do. Just go to stores and I'm joking, but Qihong, you in fairness, you've been to the final table like twice.
Yeah, I came in second place twice. First, it was just sheer luck. I went all in on a pair of 2s, and the chip leader wiped the table, and I just happened to, I entered second, so I won pretty easy. The second time I went heads up at the end, just some bad luck. But it was $20 for second place, which is pretty decent. And getting there is not an easy feat.
No.
They're only approaching close to 2,000 players, so it's entirely winnable. And for an app with the production values that they have, for the app that runs as well, and the host, everything. I mean, it's I would say it's comparable to HQ quality, right? But they only have a fraction of the players, and they're based in Vancouver. I know they try to give the impression that they're American. They're talking about Thanksgiving a lot a couple of weeks ago, but
Right.
they just need to get a few poker celebrities to to influence people to check out the app, and it's a lot of fun. I mean, I can't say
Oh, I know.
good things
That's
about
what,
it.
It's harder to make it's easier to make progress on Vupo when it comes to making money than it does on Cash Live,
yes.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Isn't it?
That tells you everything you need to know. But the thing I got to know, I mean, I enjoy the hosts. It's fun. Who the hell was that beast mode? That really angered me. That went on for too long.
So on that note, I'm gonna run. I'll let you guys talk about
Yeah.
one to win. If you're still around later tonight, I might hop back in.
Okay, you got it. Thanks for coming and thanks for dressing up.
You
Yeah.
mean Mr. Beast or Beast Mode?
Cosplay.
Yes. Yes. I think his name was Mr. Beast.
Yeah, that was weird. I don't think he joined Cash Live, and I think they spent a week begging for exposure that didn't happen.
Yes. I think that's what exactly it is. They kind of just were throwing up a Hail Mary, hoping
And
that.
it would have been fine if it actually had increased the playership, but it didn't really seem to, and so it's really embarrassing.
Right, but not embarrassing enough for a buy. He played Cash Live while hosting tonight, multitasking like Mike. I mean, that's impressive. So speaking
I mean,
of that,
I played Big Brain, but I at least won $1 out of it.
that's impressive.
Nice.
But
What did you win a buy?
On Cash Live, I got out on the first round.
Well, there you go. There you
But
go.
and in the other game at 3 p.m., I was at like 120,000 chips after 4 rounds, and then I went all in. I was hoping I would luck out somehow, and I lost everything there.
well, no, but when you lose everything, it's a 25 cents. You got to go all in. I mean,
I know, yeah.
It's
It
your
doesn't
only
hurt.
option. Yeah. But I just thought of something. Multi-tap. Chandler, what's the most games you've ever played at one time? 2 or 3? Chandler's a legend. I mean, he'll say, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And yeah.
We can't hear you. I think you're muted.
Oh, needs to unmute.
I
It's on
only
mute.
have 2 devices, but I know I've played I know one display was lagging behind. I played Big Brain on my phone, and then Swagbucks on my tablet, and then after Big Brain ended, I joined display. I've done that before.
That's it. It was always swag bucks and something. It was, yeah. You were like, you were saying, I'm playing. That's it. I'm playing Big Brain and swag bucks at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean that's insane. But that's how you roll. I mean, and you won 27 SP.
Yeah.
Which is not bad.
Right. No, actually, it was a buy. You got me into that last summer because I had cashed out some, and I said I have 397 SP. Is that good? And you said that's $3.97. And
Yep.
they said they have like a $10,000 game coming up. You might be able to win 57 SP. And so I played it, and you guys laughed. I mean, it's the opposite of HQ, where they ask the most easiest question at question 10, so everybody can win. And a buy is like right. You might want. We talked to the guy. It wasn't the boss, but it was the host. We're like,
Hal.
oh,
Wait, not Hal. Nathan.
yeah,
I missed
yes.
that. I missed that.
yeah.
night,
We
I
said
think.
you might want to have tougher questions. And I said, bye. They don't want tougher questions. They want everybody to win. They want everyone to win 37 SP. And but in fairness, I played it like 2 years ago when they had video, and I remember winning much more. I was winning like $2 or $3 or something like that. And but no, it's I don't miss it. But I forgot. I was sitting there in a park playing, and question 9 was tough, but then question 10. I wanted to throw my phone. It was so stupid, but it's fun.
I would rank display above Swagbucks, and that's why I haven't played Swagbucks in several months.
Right.
I played the Black Friday special. That was because I was home and it was at a good time.
Yeah,
I could have played because it was at a different time, but I was just like, if I haven't played in several months, why would I why would I play this one now? I'm not going to ever get enough swag bucks to cash out. It just didn't feel. And you know what's weird? I played it because it was trivia, but I don't miss it. Um, Same thing if when HQ inevitably, does what it's going to do. I mean, I'll miss y'all, you know, but we'll talk about Big Brain and Tally Up, but HQ is what brought us here, you know. I will miss that aspect of HQ, but it's once a week, you know. I don't think anything that runs once a week, and I think that's the problem with One to Win. I think it's a great concept, but I think running it once a week, Fridays at 2 p.m. is.
This is a good segue point, honestly. I've been meaning to bring up One to Win. Who here plays One to Win?
I have been playing for a few weeks.
Yeah,
I've played
been
it.
Sort of.
dabbling in it.
I'll listen.
Okay, I'll let one of the others explain what One to Win is. I've done a lot of explaining. I think.
Yeah. So One to Win it's basically it's like HQ in the sense that it's a trivia app where you have to answer questions, but in this game, the top 3 players that answer the most questions correctly in the least amount of time win money, and it's $25 to first place, 15 to second, and 10 to third, I believe, is the dollar amounts. And so that's how they get you in this game. You have to be accurate and fast.
Okay.
It's a great concept. The host of the English language version is Tim from. He was a HQ host a while back. Tim Dunn. I liked Tim. He didn't host a lot of HQ, but he was very good when he did host. He's funny. He's his hair is long now, so he's almost unrecognizable from when he hosted HQ. But I knew who he was because I noticed on his Twitter a while back that he was talking about hosting a new game show. And then I noticed that that's what it was. There's also a Spanish language version. I haven't played it because I don't know Spanish. Apparently Abai has used Google Translate to play and has done decent at it. Good for him. I couldn't do that. I'm bad enough at the English language version. I think I got 7 right this last time and got 47th place out of 100. So that's not very good. So if I'm that bad at the English version, I don't think I could do that well at the Spanish language edition. But so it's fun though, because it's a different way of playing trivia. You got to be quick, and so you either know it or you're just going to want to press something really quick and hope you get it right. But once again, for me, it's Fridays. I think it was 2 p.m. Central is so 12 p.m. California time.
Yeah, 3 p.m. 3 p.m.
Is it 3 p.m.?
Because I clearly remember because Fridays One to Win is at 1 p.m. and I'm usually at lunch break at that time.
Okay, so yeah, it's 3 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. California time. Okay, yeah, so I like it, but like I said, once a week, I think it's going to be tough to get a real audience going, especially this early on. Maybe not. Maybe it catches on. Hopefully it catches on. And right now it's relatively low stakes when you're offering, $25 to the, first place. So it's not like they're losing, a bunch of money right now anyway. But I feel like, when you're trying to introduce a new app, you want to, I don't know, run it quicker or not quicker, but run it more often or do a little something to get it out there more, or how much do y'all understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to get out the word as quickly as it could just doing it on Friday afternoons.
I think when it comes to One to Win, it's still in its early phases. In fact, I've actually been in contact with the guy who runs it. I also offered send a few questions of my own, like from time to time, and he seems to be interested. So this is a good development. Apparently, he runs this thing all on his own. He gives the prizes out of his pocket. He does all the production and whatnot. It's unbelievable. It's kind of like a one man army, but at the same time, I enjoy it nonetheless.
Yeah, I mean, I like the product for sure. And now that I understand that he's funding it on his own, I could kind of see why it is good to stay small right now. That now I hope it stays once a week and stays at, 100 people playing and $50 prize pot, because I don't want Jesus to go broke. you know, I,
Yeah.
it's a phenomenal game, and the fact that I can play it on the web browser on my phone and it runs as well as it does is pretty good, because I was worried that not being on an app, and just running it on I think Safari on my iPhone, I was worried that it might not run too smoothly, or not because of the website, but just because web phones are not as, or what am I trying to say, web browsers are not as stable as an app support, or things of that nature, just are not always as stable. So I was worried that there might be some give and take there, but I haven't experienced that, so it's been a pleasant surprise for me.
Yeah, when it comes to the Spanish games, luckily I wasn't. I was a little bit rusty, but I wasn't too rusty with my Spanish. I did take I did take Spanish in high school, and I did take one Spanish course when I was in college. So it's still more or less fresh. I guess the only time when I had to use like Google Translate or WordReference.com was if there was a word that I really couldn't recognize. But at the same time, I was able to follow along what the host was saying most of the time. I mean, today wasn't the best game. I got 7 out of 12. But the first time I played it, I actually made it to the podium. I got third. I got lucky on a couple of occasions, but other than that, I was able to understand what most of the questions said.
You'd be like all the people in India that are playing HQ. The tables have turned.
To be fair, it's the product of a lot of hard work. I remember in high school, I had to write like a couple of essays in Spanish for class. Had to read like long passages. The AP exam was pretty hard. Like it even involved speaking, and I was given like a conversation prompt and whatnot. So
No, it's who knew that the reason you're taking all this Spanish is so you can play Spanish game shows on the internet.
well, this is just a pure coincidence.
Yeah, incredible. I mean, but no, for me, as it sounds interesting, the English version, but I'm not fast enough. That's my one thing about the big brain is you got to be quick, particularly on the fill in the blanks, and you have to type fast. I mean, and on some of them, if it's a 50-50, it doesn't matter. You don't get all the points. But if it's classic rock, and instead of getting 1,000, you get 900, Big Ken and Send Your Smoke are going to smoke you. But no.
Pun intended.
Who found this app? Was it you and by?
Let's see. The one to win. I'm pretty sure it just randomly came across it on Twitter.
Yeah, that it might have even been me, because I follow Tim Dunn on Twitter, and he was talking about something about a new quiz app that he was going to be a part of, and I think I retweeted that tweet, and that might have been how we came across that.
Chihong, I just saw your message. You said you're a beta tester.
Yeah, it was. I mean, they launched the English version, 3-4 weeks ago. But they had been doing the Spanish version for at least a few months, and prior to that, when they were doing the English version, I did the beta testing. I was a lot more successful back then. There seems to be some real power players doing the one to win, but there's no referral bonuses or anything like that. I don't know if you talked about this or not, but they do. The one power up that they do have is called binoculars. Which is different than some of the other trivia games. Basically, it's like Ask the Audience style, so you can see the responses as they come in. in the form of, I believe, bar graphs. So if you're uncertain about an answer, you can see what everyone else is choosing and go that way. But having said that, One to Win is sort of like a trivia game made by a trivia player. So a lot of the questions are very difficult and
Hmm.
they're traps. So you may not want to actually use that. It may be detrimental to use that
Mm.
power up. But I believe you mentioned it was time based. You can change your answer after you've selected it. So I mean, if you know the answer, tap something right away. Um, and it's a lot of fun for someone who enjoys trivia, but like the Spanish version, you can play with the Google Translate on. I think I got six today. I was at my parents' place, so I couldn't really focus, but I did well enough to say I got half. But it's yeah, I think it's once they sort of maybe figure out all of their technical things. I mean, it works pretty flawlessly to tell you the truth. I haven't really encountered that many technical issues, but maybe when they get more funding or whatever, they can expand it to more than just once a week for each given language.
But
Yeah, definitely. I think One to Win has lots of potential. Um, wow, it's already like what six, close to 6:45.
yeah.
I think it's a good time to round it up. I think let's go around the room. Closing statements, anything you want to say. We can start with Chi Hung, then go counterclockwise.
Oh, sure. So I mentioned before there are a lot of apps that I'm sort of trying out right now. I don't typically talk about them too much until I'm in the flow and I get a sense of whether it's fun to play, whether they actually what the cash out process is like, whether you get paid quickly, that sort of thing. But as I find out, you can follow me and I'll share the news at Chi of Steel on everything. So that's sort of my handle.
Jeremy, you're up next.
What's up?
Well, let's hear your closing statements.
Well, I was thinking about this and I was thinking we've gone through a lot of kind of lately with the highs and the lows of our various apps that we play. And 2021 has been pretty good to us as far as bringing us the joys of TallyUp. We've had, I think, 6 months with it, 7 months, give or take. And HQ it's been not the most fantastic year with HQ, but for a while there, we didn't have any HQ. I am hopeful that we get to a more regular schedule with HQ. But what I'm hoping to see, and hopefully by the next time we have diaries, is a more clear plan with HQ so that we have more to talk about with HQ. Um, but as far as our our trivia and our perfect picks go, um, I love the continued passion and I love our continued discussion and just really liked being here tonight and loved seeing all the faces. Loved seeing Chandler's face tonight, and it was just great to see everybody. And I hope y'all have a happy holiday season because we might not see each other before the rest of the holidays kick into gear.
All right, Mike, you're up next.
Okay, so a lot of the same sentiments that Jeremy just stated. I'm an HQ diehard. I'd rather win probably a dollar on HQ than $5 on display. It's just it means more to me. And it's kind of the gold standard. And I hope they figure things out. And I'm not sure if we'll ever get to a one game per day environment, much less at 3 p.m. The afternoon game and the evening game. But I hope they continue. But I think the other games that we all play and have various levels of success at are fun. I think and I think Jeremy, some of our separate chats, you stated this. HQ is kind of what brought us together, and this has been a really rewarding group to be a part of, and I've enjoyed our offline chats, and I've enjoyed the diaries, and so I'm just thankful that we're that we continue to have these and can continue to discuss all things trivia and online gaming and app gaming. So just happy to be part of this group, and wish everybody a good holiday season and a happy new year, and hopefully we'll regroup soon again.
Chandler, your turn.
Yeah, again, same sentiment that HQ trivia was first, so I'll always have a place in my heart. But like, I'm kind of feeling the same thing as when HQ died the first time. There was a lot of innovation, and then just stagnation. There wasn't really much innovation. I think the last time we had a new feature that stayed around was rewards mode. Maybe VIP was a little after it. But even then, VIP isn't a thing anymore. And I think they rolled back the update with the mini games because that was causing a lot of people to glitch out on question 1. But I mean, on the plus side, like if you want to talk about like all your performances, like y'all did well this week. Like
Check out the leaderboard for this week, right? For each
yeah, I was gonna pull that up right now. Like, I don't know if you can see it, but
Just look at that. Look at that right here.
Yeah. I'll have to check.
Massive failure by me, but you know.
It's all right. I'll have to check to see how many friend requests I have. When this happens, I become like an Instagram model. Everyone wants to be my friend.
Yeah, that happened like after my first VIP win, and then I realized like I think after you get 50 friend requests, then that's it. They you won't be able to get any more. But yeah, Brian, continue.
I think we have varying experiences with that, actually.
Yeah, it seemed to be going over 50 for me.
Mine caps at 50.
I remember having like 67 at one point. I don't know how, but
Right now I have 88. There it is. The big 3. And then I think there's 98.21. Wow.
Yeah,
and I like it because Chi Hung is in first there, so they'll send him the friend request before they send them to me. So thank you for doing that, Chi Hung. Thank you for.
I'd never check my friends' requests, so if the tree falls in the forest and no one.
Did that happen because I'm friends with all of y'all, or is that for everybody?
no, it's just that out of everyone who won both games, that randomly both games last week, that randomly just decided that 4 of us are going to be in the top 5.
Wow.
Yeah,
But
it's just the luck of the draw.
That's
the
amazing.
test that we did the night where there were some test games.
Yeah,
I wonder if they factor that into the standings.
I believe that counted as a win. Yeah, for HQ trivia that counts as a win. I know their leaderboard had people after that game
with $0.
Yeah,
right. That's right.
1,000 coins.
I didn't even get my coins from winning HQ words. So,
That's it. I'll wrap up. For me, it's the trivia, but it's what it brought us together. It's fun, sitting around and talking about trivia, apps, but it's just meeting people and common people and people from. It's another country. We got Canada here. We got Texas, Jersey. We got a guy in 2 spots. We got California and Maryland. And then we got me and Abai here, California, 3 cities apart, and we've never met. We just talk on the internet.
It's going to happen soon.
We meet. Maybe we'll meet in Walnut Creek. People can Google it. Walnut Creek made the news. The people went into Neiman Marcus and did not pay. 100 people.
Yeah.
Does anybody know about that? Me and Abai? Oh, Google
No,
Walnut
no.
Creek Nordstrom's or whatever, or was it Neiman Marcus, whatever it was, made the news. But in any event, I'm rambling, but it's just fun. As I said, for me, I just enjoy people that have think like I do and are good people, because there's some strange people out there playing trivia, and that's okay. But it's best to talk to people that are normal. And so I've met, how many people are here? There's 6. I've met 5 normal people here, so that's a good thing.
You know,
And just
it's
speaking really quickly, speaking of Walnut Creek, so my wife's my wife has family out in they live in Concord.
Yes.
oh, okay.
And so we last several years I've been there for Thanksgiving. We didn't go this year because travel with the baby, but I'm out there periodically, so
There you
maybe
go.
I'll let you know. Maybe we
Yes.
can meet up for a coffee or a drink or a dinner
We'll see. If you're in Concord, we'll come find you.
and play a game together if it's live.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
We'll sit there right next to each other, all playing. That'll be quite the scene.
So I'll
You know
keep you
what? Finally,
posted.
I think, yeah, it was just nice to get together. I feel like we're all like the Magellans of the App Store trivia world. It's nice to see that we've all found different things we've been able to show it to each other, and more importantly, we're enjoying the experience. I think just like what Jeremy said, this year's been pretty kind to us. We've all had our as I think it was Andy Warhol who said, we all had our 15 minutes of. Everyone's going to have their 15 minutes of fame. I think we've all had it. Yeah, and I just want to end it by saying, wishing everybody a great holiday season. Really looking forward to the next Diaries. I know there's going to be a lot of interesting things to discuss. And thanks everybody for coming. Have a great night.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.